are of the divine, the enemy recognizes your gift and they recognize your uniqueness. And when the enemy recognizes what's big and what's gifted within you, they want to pretty much send bad energy or, engage in spiritual warfare to try to stop and block your blessings. This is not nothing new. This has been going on for a long time, but this is what I would consider to be on a lower level, right? Depending on who it is, a lot of times they carry the spirit of jealousy, envy, and confusion. That's a big thing in spiritual warfare. The enemy will attempt to tempt you to get you off your path with the intent to block your positive manifestation. So that's why being very mindful about your energy and who you're giving your energy to and who you're spending time with is very important. Being very mindful of that, being mindful of your energy and what is distracting you, what is compromising your peace or what is compromising your energy, because the game of people playing an energy game is very common, and it's not a game, it's not a joke, but people like to engage. Number 2, the enemy recognizes your value. No one hates on, is jealous, or envious of a nobody, right? A hater has a job to do, so they can try to downplay you all that they want or whatever, but they're not hating on somebody that is pretty much of not a big significance, right? Usually the people that people are hating on or trying to spread lies and toxicity and BS or call them crazy or whatever, it's usually somebody of a high value. It's usually of somebody that is a significant individual in one way or another, right? The enemy recognizes your uniqueness. One thing to remember is that an intruder does not break into an empty house, right? That's just big facts, A burglar and intruder, they're not breaking into an empty house. So in spiritual warfare and dealing with the enemy, they're usually targeting, attacking, or trying to get at someone that they see certain gifts, certain talents, certain significance, certain potential. That's a big one. Your potential. And sometimes they see and recognize the value that you may not even see in yourself, right? And a 70-year-old woman, she has plenty of life experience and wisdom. I love and recognize, I love and value older people or elderly people so much because they have so much wisdom and so much to teach. And I have no problem with, sitting and listening to them. I just love it. I absolutely love it. An intruder doesn't break into an empty house. That's a big one. The last thing, third thing, which is a really big one to me, is this game of energy once again. Feeding off of your energy, right? Energy vampires. Usually somebody that has no talent, no substance, miserable individuals. Misery is their middle name. Are not striving to go after their goals and their purpose. Don't know what their purpose is. Pretty stagnant, or see one as a threat to them because they recognize the value, right? Or they recognize your potential. It's a big one, really, really big one. Misery is their middle name. The enemy needs something or someone of the divine to feed off of. That's a really big one. Energy vampires, people that aren't happy unless they're in, negative energy. Examples, people that like to gossip, they ain't got nothing to talk about, they have nothing going on in their life for real. And talk about other people's lives instead of, focusing on themselves and building their life. Building something, right? Those that feed off of other people's energy. Examples, as I said, people that like to gossip, people that are toxic, negative. Those who play games, want to play games in your energy. That's a big one online, right? You see people that, the whole subliminal thing, haters sending negative subliminal messages, saying all the things online and on social media that they can't get off or say to the person directly. That's a huge one. The game of energy and vampiric energy is very prominent in the atmosphere. Unfortunately, it's like being in high school all over again. The negativity and things like that. So those who play both sides, that's a big one. A big sign is those you can tell continuously playing your energy, the back and forth, the pretending like they're for you or that they have love for you, but really they don't, and they go behind your back and they're talking about you and spreading lies and toxicity, kind of like what the sister told me. The energy of confusion is of the enemy. That's a part of spiritual warfare. Sending out energy and messages or just of confusion and manipulation. That's a big one in spiritual warfare. They want to keep up the picture or the narrative that they have painted of an individual so as to say, I told you so, or try to make them look crazy. That's a big one. Like a control thing or a manipulation thing. It, to me, goes back to the energy of a jealous individual or an envious individual or someone that feels like you're a threat, right? Because they don't, in spiritual warfare, these enemies, they don't bother people that they don't see have potential or value, period. That's just my personal belief. It's just not happening, As I said, jealousy and envy is a very big one in spiritual warfare. It's not a game, and you got to use your intuition. I would say common sense, but sometimes you just really have to develop your intuition when you're dealing with individuals who embody the spirit of confusion and manipulation, and those that play both sides. Like I said in one of my previous videos, you want to maintain and sustain significant and relationships of value, but it is equally as important, in my opinion, to be able to say no and to cut off and close those doors, cut those cords, and close those doors on individuals who are lukewarm about you or that play in your energy or that compromise your peace. It's enough going on in the world, too much going on in the world, and the spiritual warfare, as I said, is on all different levels, at very high levels, global levels, all the way down to very small, minute levels of family or people that you deal with and you connect with, or people you cross paths with in the world on your day-to-day walk. And it's very serious. Spiritual warfare is a very serious thing. And when you talk about somebody who is declaring spiritual warfare on a 70-year-old woman, I think that is ridiculous. And I know that sometimes, a lot of times, when people tell you your story, or when people are gossiping and they want to tell you about somebody or whatever, they say that there's three sides to every story. There's their side, your side, and then there's the truth. So I understand, but at the same time, it's like, I feel that we should appreciate and cherish older folks. Really should, right? If you are experiencing spiritual warfare, I just want to encourage you to stay strong and stay focused and stand on 10, right? You got to have that confidence when you know that your enemy won't let up, or they want to stay on your head. You got to be able to recognize it. You got to be able to recognize it, and you got to be able to demolish that energy and cut the cords. disconnect from those who play in your energy, those who wants to manipulate, and those that are in association or on the side of someone that you consider your enemy. Anybody that is playing in your energy or compromising your peace is not on your team. They will be, to me, considered an enemy, right? It's not a game. It's very serious. It's too much going on in the world. You gotta stand on 10 and stand firm. Don't let the enemy up for air. They big mad and they keep and carry the spirit of confusion, manipulation, jealousy, and envy. And sometimes you can't help or control who you are as an individual. Or you can't help or control how other people move, or how they see you, or how they hate on you, or how they're jealous of you, even in her old age, right? But what you can control is how you respond in your energy, and how you move, right? And we always want to stay focused on being in gratitude, staying in love, walking in love, staying in love with yourself, or walking in love, and then just making sure we're doing our part to make sure that we are staying on path and staying focused. So that's what I wanted to share. Y'all have a beautiful day.